Today is Aunt Molly's birthday. She's 50 years old, which is fantastic, except for one thing. We're almost out of birthday candles. We have only one left, and that has almost gone. However, don't despair, because we do have a bag of mixed nuts. Now you might say, what does that have to do with it? You can use nuts as birthday candles. You don't believe me? Have a look at this. I'll take a cashew, and I'll stand it upright on a piece of modelling clay or plasticine, an almond, and also a peanut. There we are. Now, let's see if we can light them. Cashew, first of all. It'll take a little while to get going, but before long, we should get a flame that stays there when I take the match away. Let's see. There it is. What about the almond? That's harder to get going, but it's starting to burn now, and there's a tiny flame which will stay there. Now, what's burning is not the nut itself, but the oil from the nut. All nuts have some oil in it. What about the peanut? Let's see if we can get that alight. That also takes a while to get going. But now we have all three nuts burning. The almond is just about out. Now it's out. Peanut's gone out. Cashew is still going well. If you want to make birthday candles out of nuts, there's something else you should do with them before inserting them in the cake. Can you guess what it is? I'll blow that one out and then show you. What you need to do is to sharpen them, just as you'd sharpen a pencil. Take a sharp knife, such as a vegetable knife. Here's a Brazil nut this time. And carefully, keeping your fingers out of the way of the sharp point of the knife, just sharpen it as you'd sharpen a pencil. There we are. And you'll find that in this way, the nut will burn much more efficiently and certainly for a longer time. The reason for that is that by making it thin, where the flame is, you're allowing more oxygen to get to the oil, and so it'll burn for a longer time. So there's a sharpened Brazil nut. That'll make a very good candle. Actually, I've prepared some candles for Aunt Molly already. Have a look at this. First of all, a Brazil nut. It started out its life looking like that, and now it's a sharpened one looking like that, so we'll insert that in the cake. Here's number two. This one started as a pecan. If you look at pecan nuts, you notice that they are very oily indeed. So I'd predict that that one will probably work fairly well. Then comes the almond, which has been sharpened to a point. We'll make that number three. Each of these represents 10 years for Aunt Molly, of course. There's the sharpened cashew, number four. And the last one, last but by no means least, a sharpened peanut. That makes number five. So Aunt Molly, she'll be here in a moment, so I'll light them so we're ready. There goes the Brazil nut. There's the pecan. And the almond. Followed by the cashew. And then the peanut. And those nuts, if we're lucky, will keep burning for several minutes. In fact, they burn even longer than the average birthday candle, and I'm sure you, as well as Aunt Molly, will be delighted to see our cake flourishing, and you'll also realise that one other big advantage of this is that when the candles are burnt down, you don't have to take them out before eating the cake. They actually improve the flavour.